what the people said about their environment. And here's what they said. They said things like, it's hectic, it's chaotic, it's stressful, there's favoritism. It was nothing good, nothing good. And it was at that moment I realized in this environment that they were in, they had a manager, but they didn't have a leader. And so people ask me all the time, well, what is a leader? Now you can have a bunch of different definitions. So some folks say leadership is about influence. Leadership is about your ability to take people from where they are to where they need to be. There's a bunch of different definitions, but here's mine. I say a leader is someone who has decided to care. A leader is someone who has decided to care. And I break it down as my framework. It's coach, appreciate, redirect, and elevate. So C is for coach, A is for appreciation, R is redirect, and E is elevate. It's not the title, it's not the corner office, it's not the tenure. It's, do people see you as someone that can allow them to learn and develop and grow? Or do you pass on something to people that make them feel like, okay, if I'm attached to you, then I am learning something, I'm developing. There's a process happening. There's a continuous process. That's what coaching is. Do you show people appreciation? Do you value them? I'm sure, Ernest, those kids, they felt like, man, you value them. And that's why they felt cared for. Once you coach and appreciate people, it earns you the ability to redirect them. Redirect them is like, you're going in this path, we're going to have to go this way. Not because you're in trouble. Sometimes it is because you're in trouble, but sometimes it's because I know a shortcut. I'm going to redirect you because I know a shortcut. And as a result of you doing that, you therefore elevate people. So it's so cool that you said care. And that's what my framework is built on. A leader is someone who has made a conscious decision to care. That's what it is.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. That's definitely been my heart posture for, out part of all of my life, you know what I mean? And it's kind of how I grew up, just growing up in the church and learning to serve. I don't want to say learn to serve because we had to serve. It wasn't an option. It was like you going. Like we went to the nursing homes and the senior buildings and things like that, and served there and had church there with those who couldn't get out. And so it was just kind of instilled in me ever since then to have that love for people, also from my mom. My mom was a person who loved people too, and so it was in everything that she did, So that's me in a nutshell. So Ralph, before we get out of here, man, I want you to leave us with a word of advice. I want you to have the last word. Let me put it that way. Yeah. And it could be, a word of advice, inspiration, however you feel, and also leave us with your social media handles and things of that nature, where we can find you and follow you and support you, or even reach out to you to come out and facilitate a workshop with that framework to help organizations. So I'll give you a couple of seconds to think about that. To my audience, thank you guys once again for tuning in to the Deal to Heal with EJames podcast. Make sure that you guys are checking us out on our website, dealhealfulfill.org. I don't have a slide for my new website, which is my speaker's website, which is ErnestJamesSpeaksLife.com. I will put that up, but it's ErnestJamesSpeaksLife.com. Make sure you guys are going there to check us out, and check me out, should I say. And even you at that website, you can hire me to come out to speak or to facilitate a workshop for your school or organization. So make sure that you guys are checking us out there. Also, we talked about it earlier. Go to ebooks.ejames.com to check out the ebooks that I have available, including the Core 4, which we talked about earlier, and also the Start Your Podcast Now ebook is also there. But they're not the only ones. I also have a book called From Males to Men, which is a male mentoring ebook. And one of my favorite ebooks that I wrote is called Forgiving Me, the 4-Step Guide to Self-Forgiveness. So make sure you guys go to ebooks.ejames.com in order to check that out. Also, check us out at our inspirational t-shirt line, which is deal2healtees.com. That's deal, the number 2, healtees.com, where you can find our inspirational t-shirts, and not only our inspirational t-shirts, but our podcast merch as well, which is our t-shirts with our logos of the Deal to Heal with EJames podcast, and also one for the Girl Dad Discussions podcast. And last but not least, over the last couple of years, I've been blessed to be a part of an organization called the Forgiveness Mission. And one of the things that we do, we have a free virtual workshop every other month. We started doing them every quarter, but now we do them every month. And we have a free virtual workshop every other month, talking about everything surrounding forgiveness of self, forgiveness of others, even forgiveness of the world. And it's absolutely free. Whenever you guys are listening to this episode, either one just passed or there's one coming up. So make sure you guys go to forgivenessmission.com to check out our free virtual workshops on forgiveness. It's absolutely free, but the information is priceless. So again, that's forgivenessmission.com, or you can go to Eventbrite and look up the Forgiveness Workshop sponsored by the Forgiveness Mission and find it there. So again, that's forgivenessmission.com. And you guys can sign up for our free virtual workshop. Ralph, thank you once again, man, for coming on, for spending this time with us, for sharing your story and your expertise. I definitely thank you for being here. I want you to have the last word, so the floor is yours.
So I'll go with the business stuff, and then I'll leave them with the word. So you guys can definitely find me on Instagram. It's RJP Speaks. RJP Speaks on Instagram, and you can also find me on LinkedIn. And it's my full name, Ralph Jeanpois, owner of RJP Consulting Group LLC, Ralph Jeanpois. So what I do is several different things, but I want to be very specific about who I am here to help. I help leaders, emerging leaders, overcome imposter syndrome so they can lead at the highest level possible. So if you're a new manager, right, you're coming in, you are a high performer, and now you have this new position, you're leading people, and you used to be really, really good at production, but now you need to switch over to the people side plus production. I help fill in that gap for you, because what I realize a lot of times is people get these positions, but they don't get the training to equip them to be able to deal with conflict resolution, to be able to deal with delegating to different employees, to be able to deal with time management, to be able to deal with all these different things that come with the new position. So I fill in those gaps for you with coaching and training, and it's about building you, giving you as many tools as possible to help you excel in your new role. So I do a lot of work with those individuals. I also teach public speaking workshops. I do executive presence coaching as well, so to help you understand that, again, the weight of your presence, because a lot of times the opportunities that we don't get is because we don't present ourselves in a way to be seen as the person that should step into that role. So I do a lot of work in those space, keynotes, workshops on emotional intelligence, and really helping leaders emerge is what I do best. Now, as far as the what I want to leave you with is it's simple. It's what earnest is all about. You have to be able to deal with it in order to heal from it. I remember I got an opportunity to preach a sermon last year, and one of the things that God deposited on my heart is, we all have something that we're carrying. We all have some load that we're carrying, and it could be from 10 years ago. It could be from 15 years ago. It could be from something somebody said to you. It could be something somebody did to you. It could be from something somebody didn't do for you, but we all have a load. But what God was telling me in my moment of prayer is simple as this. It says, he told me, if you continue to carry the load of the past, your present will be weighted and your future will be jaded. I'll say it for you one more time. If you continue to carry the load of the past, your present will be weighted and your future will be jaded. I don't want my present to be weighted, and I don't want my future to be weighted. So because I don't want that, I had to deal with it. I had to go through the process. And for you, it might look different. For you, it might look like therapy. It might look like writing yourself a letter. It might look like writing that person a letter. It might look like forgiving them out loud. It might look like a number of different things. But whatever it looks like, the outcome is to get to healing, because until you heal, you won't be able to fulfill. So deal with it so you can heal from it, so you can fulfill your calling on this earth. So that would be what I would say to you, because if you don't do it, then you will carry the load of the past. Your present will be weighted and your future will be jaded. And I don't want that for you. So deal with it so you can heal, so you can fulfill.
All right. We can't end no better than that. To my listeners, thank you guys once again for tuning in to the Deal to Heal with EJames podcast, where our mission is to help you to deal, heal, and fulfill. To deal with your problems, to heal from the pain, and to fulfill your purpose. Until next time, you guys be blessed. Thanks for listening to the Deal to Heal with EJames podcast. Remember to listen, like, subscribe, and share. This episode has been brought to you by Deal to Heal Teas. Put some inspiration in your situation. Wear an inspirational tea and be inspired all day. Let's go to dealtohealteas.myshopify.com. Remember, our mission is to help you to deal, heal, and fulfill. Deal with your problem, heal from the pain, and fulfill your purpose. Thanks for listening.